It's 5:15. We'll call the meeting to order. Kevin, would you do the roll call, please?
Yes, we have Denny Knapp, yourself, attending via Zoom. Megan Luther is here, and Deb Everson is here. So we have a quorum. Diana Goldhammer and Ann Temple are excused, and I'm not sure if Susan Sharks will be attending or not. But we do have a quorum of 3.
Very good. Item number 3, approval of agenda. Do we have any additions or corrections to the agenda?
I have none.
Seeing none, I'll request approval.
I make that motion.
Make sure you're...
Motion to approve.
I second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. On to the minutes from the last meeting in May. Have you all had a chance to read through them at this time?
I have the draft of the minutes on. I have the draft of the minutes on the screen.
I think they're accurate as written. I didn't see anything. Did you, anybody?
Yeah, I had sent them out after the meeting, and I had no. At that point, everybody said they look good.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. If we need a motion.
Here, move to approve.
Yes, from Deb.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second. Megan?
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. On to the director's report.
Okay. I have the director's report, the written director's report. I guess I will ask if there are any questions about it. I will note that in June last month, we reapplied for accreditation and applied at the next level up from, last 3 years. We currently have essential level, and we applied for enhanced level. So,
Have we heard anything back from that yet?
no, that should be coming probably in September or sometime around library conference. Sometime in September.
Okay, very good.
And then also part of the report is just updates on the strategic plan, and this month's updates include movement on this installation of our digital sign, and we on Monday, this is additional to what I wrote, on Monday morning we had a pre-construction meeting with the project in the city's project engineer, Terry, and a representative from Pride Neon. So everything's moving forward. We came up with a final decision on the location of the sign, and
Is it closer to the corner or closer?
actually it's closer in which direction?
North.
No, actually it's farther south.
I was
Which-
just afraid that
which will
big
be-
sign will be blocking.
Well, it will be low enough. I mean, they made sure of that, but also it's closer to Sanborn because originally Terry, the city engineer, thought that we had to be X number of feet away
Back.
from the property line. And then after talking to Mark Jenigas, discovered that the edge of the sign can actually be on
the property.
the property line, so we could be closer. So we'll be, so then we could be, and there's also this line of sight issue of, from the corner,
Right.
nothing can be obstructing to the down Sanborn 30, however many feet, or back on Third, and so the sign will be out of that line of sight too. So it will actually have better visibility from the north where we decided
Right.
than where
Because
we
the
were
south, you're going to have that
originally.
big corn palace.
Well, yeah. And something that Terry said, I don't know if this is true or not, but that there may be consideration to decide, do we still need that, or would it be better located someplace else? If so, that would be great. So, and a couple of the crabapple trees will be removed as well too.
They block the view badly, in my
And
opinion.
they've blocked just being able to see if you're on Third and see from the south if traffic's coming, right? So just for traffic safety, they've decided also that they need to be removed. The other updates, we have a little bit more of the adult nonfiction collection weeded, and we've already completed 2 strategies to installing better lighting around the interior perimeter. That track lighting was installed last month. So if you haven't been in, I know, Megan, you've been in. I don't know if you noticed
it. I did
lighting.
notice it the first day,
Yeah,
and it's amazing. It
it's
has
so
made
much
a world
brighter.
of a difference.
I've been in and I didn't notice, but I didn't go anywhere but to the desk
Well, yeah, just look
around.
at that dark brown wooden shelving. It actually looks colorful because the spines of the books are so much brighter with the additional light. So it looks like there's color
Perfect.
there
That's
too.
awesome.
So that strategy is completed, and the strategy of investigating offering digital periodicals via Overdrive Libby. We did decide to do that, and I was actually last meeting. I told you the price was $3,000, and I was confusing that with our yearly consortial fee. The cost of the magazine subscriptions for nearly 6,000 titles is only $2,000. So we went ahead and got that, and so those magazines are now available. You can use Libby, the Libby app, to read magazines from home, from bed, from wherever.
Cool. I didn't know that. I haven't looked.
As of, I checked a week ago. I didn't check today, but after just 1 week, we had over 100 checkouts already of magazines.
And
for anyone who uses Libby, it pops up I always look at new offerings.
Yeah.
And so when you hit new offerings, all these magazines popped up. That's the only way I knew about it. It was great.
Yeah.
Are we posting it on Facebook or anything?
We've published it in our summer newsletter that just came out. I haven't done a post on Facebook yet, but I will be. Yeah. I was kind of getting ready for the meeting, and so that's 2 strategies that we've completed already. Let's see. And just a couple of updates. There's a bit more detail in Jean Patrick's and Max Velasquez's reports, but for summer reading, we've this year had higher participation than last year. We had 102 teenagers registered for summer reading program compared to 81 last year. And
that's significant.
Yeah, and for adult, 220, more than double than last year, 225 compared to 111 last year. So that's, I think, really good. And for the strategy of outreach to the community, I added this photo in of, we participated at the May First Fridays, and then we also did June First Fridays, and Rachel Solik came up with this idea of having a human slot machine. And they made it, and then we had book photos of book covers and that's what they did.
Oh, fun.
The participant would pull the lever, and then they would, go, and then they pick up a book, and if you got
A match.
3 matches, you were a winner, and so people had fun with that, and the staff had fun with that. So, and we've been working on other things. So that's the report on progress on the strategic plan. Any questions on that? And then Max provided his report, and Jean provided her report as well. So again, if you have any questions, or I'll let the written reports speak for themselves. So those are the director's reports, Denny.
Okay, do we need approval of that, Kevin?
Yes, we approve the reports.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Yes, Deb seconded.
Okay. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed and carried.
Oh,
The financial report and we have.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't scroll through the statistics. I will just point out that our circulation numbers continue to be very strong this year. We had over 16,000 checkouts in June for digital and for physical items, and so we're just still seeing great usage of the library collection this year. So,
And I got a text or an email, I can't remember which one now, that my card was expiring. Is that just to update your, I don't have to get a new card?
no,
Oh, okay.
but that's just something that we're using the system for now, that if your card expires, we're using the text the patron or email the patron feature more to let you know, because that's one of the accreditation things is that patron records should be updated regularly, and previously, they were setting the expiration date to like 5 years, which was way longer than the.
I don't think mine ever expired, and mine
Well,
was from the 1970s.
and so we in 2023 made a strong effort to get everybody re-registered. We just basically made everybody's card expire and tried to get everybody to re-register, or 2023 2024.
So every couple
and so
years
now
then.
we still have them expire after a year, just that way we're not making people fill out a new registration form. We just verify that your contact information is still correct, any changes, and that way, because we still have people who register, check out something, don't return it,
No
and
address.
by the time we're sending overdue notices, they come back, and we verified their address when they registered a few weeks previous. So
Sure.
okay, I'm sorry. Now I can go on to financial reports, Denny. So the May and June bank statements are there. At the end of May, we had $117,573 and change, and then at the end of June, our ending balance was $86,677.28.
Is that for the sign? that we
big
took out?
drastic, because for the sign, we needed to put 50% of the sign to the sign company down. So it was quicker and easier to then write
Our
the check
half,
from.
yep.
Yeah. And that'll probably not be quite half. That won't be half the total cost, but because we
chunk.
also have the electrical portion running electricity from Muth Electric, that'll be a separate bill. But for the sign and installation of the sign, they required a 50% deposit. So, and then other, summer reading program payments and that type of thing were most of the checks for.
Are the deposits here like about $300? Are those all book sales and copy fees
Yeah.
and all that?
Mainly the weekly deposits are from weekly book sales and copies printing. Those are the two main. Well, or also subscription
Sure.
membership renewals.
Yep.
So,
Excuse me.
and so if you see now on to the profit and loss, I'm just going to skip May and go straight to June. Because then we can kind of see year to date too. But so for June, for income, you can see for the month divided over 4 weeks, $870 and 80 cents. Copies was 333, and subscription, membership subscriptions were 725. Those are the big 3 items, and then we have meeting room fees, or paid. If somebody lost a book or damaged it, we still have those fees. But other than that, we had a 3D printing or donation interest, about $100 too. So, and then the year to the first 6 months, current through June for the whole year, you can see that our revenue is about $925 more than last year, and expenses so far were about $1,680 less than last year, and so our net income was about $2,600 more than last year through the first 6 months of the year. That's for the board account.
Okay.
And then for the library budget from the city, salaries were kind of on track. We've spent not quite 50%. We're just below 50% in the 40% of what we've spent of that budget already. I've mentioned this before, the only budget item that we're way kind of out of whack is postage, but we talked about that and the board already approved that towards the end of the year. That's mainly because of the interlibrary loan costs and the courier not running for a month and a half. So
But they are running again. Right?
yes, yeah. And so my postage costs this past month was more in line
Right.
with what it should be. And for books, our book budget, we spent about 45% of it. Our audio visual, we're kind of thought we wouldn't probably buy as many movies or physical audiobooks, so that's a little lower. We haven't spent as much. So, any questions about that?
think we're doing well.
Seeing none, I request approval or acceptance of the financial report.
You need a motion to approve?
Yes, yes.
I'll make the motion to approve the financial report.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. I think that's what he said.
Item number 7, business items. Kevin, I turn the meeting over to you.
Okay, and Denny, I right now we're kind of here. You're breaking up. Your audio is breaking up, so I don't know if your internet connection is not as strong. Your video's good. So, okay. The next agenda item is our annual meeting actions, and so the 3 kind of annual items, and so with the first 2 are lumped together in this action, in this agenda item, is election of new officers for the upcoming year, 2025-2026, July 2025 to June 2026, and then after that, the new president can take back over, and then we will set the meeting time for the upcoming year. So,
Do we have to go through nominations and everything officially?
well, yeah, I mean, we should. So, we will take nominations for president.
I nominate Denny Knapp to continue as president.
I'll second.
Okay. All right. Everson nominates.
I'll make a motion that we close nominations.
I'll second.
Okay. All right. We have a motion and a second to elect by acclamation, I think, Denny Knapp for president for the upcoming year. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
Thanks, Denny.
Okay, Denny, congratulations.
Congratulations.
You are the president. So I will turn the meeting back over to you, and we can now select the vice president for the coming year.
Do we have any nominations for vice president for the upcoming year?
I'll nominate Diana Goldhammer to continue as vice president for this next year.
I'll second.
She has accepted that, right? We're not just bulldozing her.
Yes, I had asked her.
I move to close nominations.
Second.
Okay, and Megan, if you didn't hear that, Denny, Megan moved to close nominations, and Deb seconded.
Favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And carried. We have another vice president. Okay, does that conclude? We need to set the meeting time.
Yeah, we also need to set the meeting time. So, I mean, that we typically do by agreement rather than, voting. But so I guess I would ask, does the third Tuesday at 5:15 still work for everybody? Megan, you're the...
It works for me.
Okay.
Works for me.
And I asked Anne, and she said it works for her. And Diana didn't say otherwise. Denny, it still works for you?
Yes, it does.
So
we'll just continue that.
we'll
We just
continue that
in agreement.
by agreement. And we'll continue also with the, I assume
Every other
everybody still
month?
wants the odd months of the year, and then the even months. But in August we won't be doing training because we're still doing summer reading and just the busyness of summer. So
The odd months are the meeting months, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So January, March, May, July, September and November are our meeting months, and then when we do training, those will be the even months of the year.
So just to confirm, our September meeting will be the third Tuesday at 5:15.
September
You have
16th.
a calendar, September 16th. That's
Yep.
good. Then you have the calendars. Great. Okay, that should be settled. Then we're on to business item B, review of the 2026 library budget.
Okay, another duty of the board annually is to approve the budget requests. So I'm submitting to the board the budget requests that I put together. This is pretty much finalized. There may be a tweak or two, such as like an audio visual. I may lower that because, again, looking at where we are, we're not spending as much. We're not spending as much on purchasing physical copies of movies or audiobooks, and so I may decide to lower that request. But I thought I would just go through each line item and kind of explain where we are. For part-time, that is a $2,250 increase over what we currently have in our part-time budget, and that would be to cover the cost of living increase that automatically happens in South Dakota with the minimum wage. That goes up every year based on inflation, and so the city tries to be at least 50 cents above minimum wage. And then we also have like 4 steps, and so that also would that increase would also cover any step movement from the part-time staff. Professional services is the same, and that pays for just monitoring of our fire alarm system. Repair and maintenance, $5,000. Typically, we get $1,500 just for repair and maintenance to cover, which isn't much. But when I started, I was informed, and I think I've said this to the board. We citywide, if every department got $10,000 for repair and maintenance, that would take a lot more revenue to cover that for the city. But by putting $1,500 in every department's budget and then pulling from the city's larger contingency to pay if something comes up, that's what we've done. In the past few years, we've gone over and we've pulled from the contingency. So far this year, for out of the typical $1,500, I think we've only spent less than $300. So this year's been a great year of not having to pay for any repairs. The additional $3,500 that I'm asking for to get up to $5,000 for next year is to pay for professional shampooing, cleaning of the carpets. We had that done about 2 years ago, or it'll be about 2 years, and I mean we should get the carpets cleaned. They had not been cleaned for I don't know how many years before the last when we did have it done. And children are crawling all over the carpets in the community room for story time, and so we just need to make sure the carpets are as clean as can be. Supplies and materials, I'm actually lowering that by $500. I had increased it to $12,000 this year, and I don't know if I'm going to spend that much, so I'm lowering that. Postage is going up. My request is going from $1,600 to $2,000. Just this weekend, I think Sunday, postage rates went up again by
78 cents now.
They went up 5 cents a stamp. So, it seems like postage rates go up 2 or 3 times a year now. So, um, so that hopefully that'll cover the postage rate, and hopefully the courier will continue. Minitex fees, $165 increase request just to cover increased costs based on what we saw this year. Databases, that is a $1,600 increase to cover about $100 of increases to what we already have, just minimal 5%, but then adding in $1,500, requesting new $1,500 to pay for a database that we are losing that the state paid for, the Ancestry Library.
Is that one we're losing?
Yes, we originally the plan was we were going to lose it June 30th. You have to come into the library to use that database, but you can search it. But because the state library, I think because of some of their funding cuts, that's one that they decided they could no longer continue. If we were to subscribe to it ourselves, the package that we get through that subscription, it would probably be about $4,000. But we are working with a consortium, a group of libraries. We're in discussions trying to figure out a plan, and the database vendor has committed that they would keep the same statewide price, and the libraries that are in discussion don't expect that every library in the state, like Parkston, small libraries, are going to be able to fund it. So some of the larger libraries will probably have to, just pay a little more than we would, but to help cover statewide access. It's, I think, so we figured if the amount that the total statewide amount, if there were 25 libraries, I think that's kind of what the number we were figuring, would contribute equally, and we don't know. We haven't figured out if it's going to be an equal amount or not, because Sioux Falls
Would make sense to do percentage or something.
Well, yeah, but if every library paid the same, it'd be about $1,500. So I'm just asking for $1,500, and the colleges are talking too. I mean, they would participate. The Regentos colleges and private.
Is that
colleges.
just for the Ancestry one? Or
Yes.
Okay,
So
so
it's
like
about 42,000 statewide.
Okay, so like EBSCOhost and all those.
That's the state library still
pays.
covering. Yeah, they're still.
That's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah, and they dropped a couple. They dropped the Learning Express library, the library that has practice tests,
Sure.
but they picked up a different practice test database, I think, that costs less. So that was the database line. Periodicals, I'm actually decreasing by $750 because of
Those cancellations.
some cancellations, and with going with this electronic package, we're going to probably cancel a number of print. You've checked out. When was the last time you were in the library and read a magazine, Megan?
Never.
You've checked out two already since July 1st. So there are a few people, but we have so few magazines. Like
Well, they're on the databases too. So
yeah,
for the not all of them.
Yeah,
but a great many.
But this magazine collection, it's much easier because you get the issue and it's like page to page as opposed to in the database you have to it's clunkier, but you can still read it. Okay. Ebooks, I'm requesting $1,000 more over this year, just so we can order more because we're seeing increased usage. Travel, conference, and dues, I'm requesting the same amount as this year. Utilities, I'm requesting just under $4,085 more to cover increased costs. I mean, this year our utilities, I don't know if we'll have quite enough to cover everything or not. And same with water and sewer. The next line, I'm requesting $1,000 more. Our water rates and sewer rates have gone up, as is everybody's, to pay for the additional water. Computer software, I'm requesting $170 more just to cover cost increases, like 5% to 10% is what we expect. And then going down to Atrium, our library system, a checkout system and database system, that is a constant fee. They haven't raised prices, so I'm not requesting any more. I'm not requesting any more for books, even though book prices will go up some, but that's still, if we got a large amount of increase to our book budget, we'd probably have to do a whole lot more weeding than we do every year anyway. Our fiction shelves are pretty full, and we typically, weed to make room for what we buy every year. But if we increased our budget for physical books, we would have to probably weed more even to make more room. So it's kind of just an equilibrium that we're keeping there. And then audiovisual, I'm still thinking that probably will decrease that maybe by $500 or $1,000. So
that includes the books on CDs and all
yeah, I mean, because we just aren't, we still get some circulation of those, but not nearly as much.
I checked them out all the time for my mother with macular degeneration. I think people use them, but there's also a state program, so as long as they don't cut that.
Yeah. Well, and that's that's federally funded, and
okay, so that should be okay for now until more budget cuts.
So, any questions about the?
Yeah, I have
two.
Request? What are mini tax fees?
Oh. Yeah. Do you know what Minitex fees are?
I don't.
Okay. Minitex is a 3-state consortium: Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota. And it's the Minitex is officed at University of Minnesota, and it is kind of our go-between between OCLC, the Online Computer Library Catalog, in Ohio, where we do our cataloging. Minitex bills us for our cataloging fees to OCLC. So it's our kind of our cataloging. We pay for a subscription for yearly cataloging, so we have access to the international database of catalog records, and then also we also pay for an interlibrary loan software that we use to send requests to libraries anywhere in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Or
we could also fell under that.
We could also send them to Canada or to other countries. I mean, I've in the past, I've had interlibrary loan requests come through that system from Denmark. And so those are the fees, Minitex fees. They're kind of our yearly cataloging interlibrary loan fees to the national database system.
That makes sense. And then do we have people who request we get books in, like new books ordered, or most of the hardcover books we order are just based on decisions that you all make?
I've requested before and they've ordered some.
Yes and yes. Do we get requests in from patrons? Yes. But we also
right, it's a mixture. What do you know, like a rough percentage?
Most of the books that we order are ones that we select.
Sure.
But there's rarely a time that somebody requests requests a book for purchase that we don't purchase. But I mean, there are times that somebody may request a book that's over 10 years old already, and we typically, they want to read it. We typically are not going to order that and
Sure.
purchase it. We'll just get it through interlibrary loan because most likely no one else is going to.
Right.
You know, what I mean, people want to read the new books that
Right.
are being published, and they're excited about that. So, and a lot of the popular, I mean, well-known authors who publish frequently, we have those in a standing order. So with our book vendor,
Okay.
we say, okay, anything by this author, send us a copy.
Sure.
When it comes available. And some of them, like James Patterson or some of the authors, we have them send us 2 copies because it's they're popular enough that
Sure.
we could probably even maybe have 3 copies and to handle the the demand. But
Have book requests from patrons increased, decreased, or about the same every year?
I probably about the same.
Okay.
I mean, one thing that we have done, and so this is why I can't answer your question with as much certainty as I would like, is our library catalog atrium.
Mm-hmm.
You can log into that and submit a book request in our library catalog,
Sure.
in our online catalog.
Okay.
And so Max typically then reviews those and makes those purchases. We used, when I started, pretty much this way they did it was had people fill out a little
Sure.
piece of paper, a request slip. And we still have some people doing that, but I think more of the requests come in, via our catalog now that people have figured out.
Okay.
We promoted it some. We've shown people how to do it, and the people who know how to do that and request, they will do it. I mean, we'll have some people who will request 10 books.
Yeah. No, I just asked based on the book budget request, so I was just curious. So, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other requests? Denny, do you have any requests about the budget proposal? I'm sorry?
No questions at this time.
Okay. So, is everybody okay with this? I mean, last year we didn't approve it. You didn't approve it. We just reviewed it, and
This
if
is the
anyone
one
had
you
any
have
question.
to turn into the city anyway. To
Yes.
review. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be submitting this. We have to submit it by the end of the month. They're due to Stephanie Elwine by the end of July. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any active committees at this time?
There were no committees that met. We don't have any. Yeah, we don't have any committees anymore now that the strategic planning committee finished their work. So there are no committee reports. Denny, I'm sorry. Could I ask that Deb take over running the rest of the meeting? Just your audio is really, we can't even understand you.
I've got good audio in theory on video here. I'm not sure when they.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble hearing the other members of the board.
We're about done anyway.
Yeah. So is that okay if Deb takes over kind of? Okay.
I don't know where just a minute. I don't know where we're at on the agenda. Oh, we're almost done.
Yeah. Board input.
Board input. Does anyone have any input or
And
questions?
Megan, board input is to allow any board members, if you have any comments or anything you want to bring up, or sometimes people just compliment us or make us feel good, or raise questions about what about this, or I've heard that, or
When is the window fixed by the children's
No, good question. Yeah, I should have included that in my. Actually, I should have included
I
that in
didn't
my
even
report.
know about.
No, we're still waiting. It's been ordered, but it hasn't come in yet, and it hasn't been in. So we still have the barrier in front of it.
Very creative barrier. I'm
Well,
impressed
that
because it's the little little kids area and
well, when we, it's still odd that it was the inside pane that shattered. So there were little shards of glass, and so we had put some lower barriers, and the next morning the kids were crawling over them. So Quincy, our building maintenance guy, talked to Jeff Hansen here at the Corn Palace, and they had that barrier.
room divider kind of.
Yeah, that room divider barrier, and so brought that over, and so that has been that's done a much better job at keeping the kids away from the window, and so it's just like a wall. They see it as a wall. So yeah, I'm hoping soon. I guess one other thing I'll just say, this is not related to the window, but Jean talked about it in her report. I can't think of his name right now, the gentleman who works at Coburn's, but he also paints, and he's doing the mural. He has started, yes, he has, he was there today doing some painting, starting doing some of that mural painting work. So, and we're actually going to have Dakota News Now, a reporter from Dakota News Now here tomorrow.
Well, that's cool.
A story on that. So,
And then what's the cost for that?
The initial cost that Jean Patrick had requested in her request for summer reading program, and she had submitted as part of her summer reading program request, $500. In her report, if you caught it, she's seeing it as what he's doing this year for $500. They've talked about ideas to do more, so probably next year.
Be another request.
Yeah, but it'll add color to the building and color up some of those dark brown bricks.
Any other input? And we are at adjournment. Oh no, citizens input. And we have no citizens here, so no citizens input. And so we can adjourn the meeting after we pick a date for the next time, which will be
It's September 16th.
September 16th.
At 5:15 here in this room.
Okay. Anything else, Danny? I don't know if he can hear us. Must not be.
Denny, anything else on your end?
So meeting adjourned at
6:03.
6:03.
Thank you all.